Welcome to the Coach's Road, where basketball coaches travel, with college recruiting coordinator, Coach Don Burrows.
Hi, Coach Burrows, traveling the Coach's Basketball Road with you, episode number 35. Here's the list rating the top Ohio high school basketball players ever, as voted on by a sports forum dedicated to the history of prep basketball in the state. Starting down at the bottom, check out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, all in the Hall of Fame. Number 6, Gus Johnson, 5-time NBA All-Star, Baltimore Bullets mainly. Number 5, Nate Thurmond, Golden State, 7-time All-Star. Historic shot blocker if they had kept that stat, but they didn't until late in his career, 1973. But that's episode number 34. Number 4, John Havlicek. Celtics, 8 titles, enough said. Number 3, Jerry Lucas out of Middletown High School, won back-to-back state titles, 76 consecutive wins, played for the Royals, then the New York Knicks where he won an NBA title. Number 2, Neil Johnston. 5 seasons he averaged over 20 points and 12 rebounds for the Philadelphia Warriors. Talk about under-the-radar greatness. He is a perfect profile for the Coach's Road sometime in the future. But right now, again, look back at 5 and 6, Thurmond and Johnson, both from Akron. And spoiler alert, so is number 1, LeBron James, the only one on this list not yet in the Naismith. Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary, LeBron is the only 21st century member of the group, class of 2003, listed at 6'8", during his high school career, 2,646 points in 4 years, 30 points per game, 3 state titles. College, 0. But we know why. He was so good he went directly to the NBA, and he's now the all-time NBA scoring leader, over 42,000 points as we record. So Akron is loaded with basketball history. But the first player to emerge from Akron and St. Vincent as a renowned basketball star is not on the list. So now we tell the story of the city and the school's first superstar basketball player. Meet Charles H. Chuckovits, known as Chuck Chuckovits. Born in Akron in 1912, St. Vincent, class of 1930, the school would merge with St. Mary in 1972. Contemporary write-ups lack formal statistics that we're used to about career numbers, like total points, rebounds, overall record at St. Vincent. Even the 1930 yearbook is not in the Akron library. This is a major part of the reason he's not on the list. He came too soon. Here's what the evidence in my research suggests. Reporters of the era called him a 6'1" schoolboy star, a 3-year starter at St. Vincent. And at 6'1", he was a tall guard for the 1920s and 30s. Estimate what a 6'5" wing is to our modern day. Media was different then. This kind of newspaper headline from 1957 was not routine in Chuckovits' day. His stardom spreads by some local newspapers and from the passionate fans talking his game up in barbershops, or his statistics taped to the downtown hardware store window, attracting fans inside for more than a hammer and nails. The talk was, you've got to see this Chuckovits guy play. He's 18 years old in 1930 when he graduates high school. Chuckovits is of age to play college ball, but this is an ugly and dangerous economy that he graduates into. The stock market crash had occurred in October 1929. So a few months later, the June class of 1930 is greeted with the Great Depression. People are hurting. They're not thinking about basketball careers. They're trying to get meals every day. So having a job, any job then, is hard to find. Perhaps this is why Chuckovits did not go to college immediately post-high school. He needs to help his family to earn money. His basketball ability and celebrity helps him. It appears he's hired for a job during the day and to play basketball in the evening on the AAU circuit, which was really equal to a pro league. He plays for various teams in Akron, where of course he's still a big box office draw from his high school success. Polsky's, that's a popular Akron department store. Firestone is still the well-known tire company founded in Akron in 1900. Akron Banks was a local business college. The system worked this way. He was hired by the company at each of his basketball stops, with the key being, while he plays the equivalent of pro competition on the company team, he keeps his amateur status as he is officially being paid to work a job for that company, not for the basketball team on the AAU circuit. Maybe they got a small stipend for food, for travel. Akron businesses were smart. They saw benefit here. The competition on the circuit was high caliber, a top attraction in the community. It was good local publicity for the company, while not that expensive to sponsor a team. Pro basketball leagues have been around since shortly after its 1891 invention by Naismith. This is the Trenton, New Jersey team, circa 1895, one of the first pro teams. This video is the NBA in year one, 1950, at Madison Square Garden. Chuckovits choosing to play pro ball in 1930 would have been risky. It did not pay much. It wasn't a regular payday. It was paid by the game if that franchise had the money. And playing venues? Nothing like Madison Square Garden here. Pro facilities of the 1930s were ballrooms, dance halls, bingo halls, moving in portable rims on slippery floors. Pro leagues were always scrambling, unstable, a franchise life expectancy 1 season, maybe 2 or 3. It's many years off from becoming a mega industry with giant paychecks. Even what you're watching, this is the Pistons of Fort Wayne at the New York Knicks in 1950. Facilities, Madison Square Garden, very nice. But these players needed an off-season job to pay the year-round bills. So it's not surprising, it's a smart move where Chuckovits takes a steady paycheck and protects his amateur status until he feels it's time for him to enroll for college ball in 1935 at the University of Toledo, 5 years after St. Vincent. 5 years out after St. Vincent, St. Mary, LeBron has scored over 10,000 NBA points. Chuckovits does not have that pro opportunity, but he scores more college points in 3 years than any other player in college basketball history at that time. 1,189 points, according to the University of Toledo Media Relations. In 1937, he sets a single-game national record, 41 points in a game. His senior year, he's All-American, the first in Toledo history. He scores an Ohio single-season college record, 449 points. That's 17 points per game. 3 big winning years. His teams are 49 wins and 20 losses, while he's in the starting lineup at Toledo. He's chosen a great time to play college ball. It's more popular than pro ball. In fact, it's college that held pro leagues back, as fans loved their regional universities, were attached to players like Chuckovits, trusted him as part of the community. They knew him well since high school. And many early fans of basketball felt pro leagues were just a gimmick that could never play better ball than what they had in their favorite college teams. 1939, he graduates from Toledo. There's no National Basketball Association star-making machine where he's likely the overall #1 draft pick, if not certainly a first-round pick at that time. He plays 8 years of pro ball. He bounces around, not because he isn't needed, but because, as we discussed, the tentative life of a franchise to last even 1 season. Here he is with the Hammond All-Americans in Indiana. It's reported he left the team when his owner did not pay him the $50 per game they had agreed to, even if the Hammond All-Americans did promote him as Mr. Basketball. His big pro years are in the National Basketball League. He leads the league in scoring with the Toledo Jim White Chevrolets in 1941-42. 18.5 points per game. He's all NBL first team and MVP of the league. He retires before there's any such thing as a National Basketball Association, but he still makes it to the NBA in his mid-40s. Chuckovits becomes a referee. He calls games in the NCAA tournaments of the 1950s. And that earns him a call from the NBA to referee games where the league is about a 9-year-old youngster, thus becoming the first from St. Vincent to make it there. However, that NBA spotlight, it belongs to LeBron. Chuck owns the college spotlight. Both were high school sensations. Chuckovits, the headliner when the school was on East Market Street downtown, While 70 years later came LeBron, St. Vincent, St. Mary had a new building, but just a 5-minute drive away on North Maple Street. Superstar players representing the same high school and culture, even if from different centuries. And now that we know about Chuckovits, I can see LeBron number one. But let's add Chuckovits as among the top 10 Ohio players ever. We just call it the Coach's Road poll. That would make LeBron the youngest at number 1, Chuckovits the oldest at number 10, and that would be Akron bookends. And you're on the Coach's Road, where basketball coaches travel, along with passionate hoop enthusiasts. Please subscribe. Coach Burrows, over and out.